Your chat needs to understand that this is not an April Fool's. This is like somebody thinks that we are this dumb, thinks that our community is this dumb to do this. Like, exactly what are we doing? Because it makes no sense to add a cooldown timer, to add a cooldown timer manager. Oh, you turn it on and it shows you the cooldown. Oh, I have to wait 10 seconds before I can shoot this ability again. Nobody, you should automatically know that through your brain. You shouldn't have to look down at the screen and be like, I don't know what spell to click. I'm indecisive as heck. Because that means that you're indecisive as fuck. Can't make choices for yourself in the moment, in the heat of something going on. That's like, it is showing us our basic life choices at this point, bro. And if your life choices are all trash, no wonder you play like a trash player. Because your in real life shit affects also the way you play. Because you can look at these players and then be like, okay, they don't do this, this, and this in real life. Because they don't. They don't pay attention to shit. Probably don't even like, you know, share the load, like healing everybody, only favoriting to heal like one person. Like, it's like some of this stuff is just really retarded.
Version of that, where they'll be.
Why do we need a single button assistant that rotates? Why do we need a single button to rotate? Cast the rotation of damage spells using a single button. It's so dumb. It's so dumb.
Oh my god!
Yeah, it's just a single button assistant.
Single button assistant.
Yeah, it increases the time between using ability by 0.2
like
seconds.
a keybind
like
that if you just want almost an auto rotation,
So you get to play the game with a garage door opener now.
opt into that, and it will just automatically cast the next recommended ability in the sequence. There'll be a small GCD penalty associated with that, but we want to make sure that this is for accessibility purposes, that it's there for people who maybe just honestly aren't interested in the gameplay of like mastering their spec. They want to explore Azeroth and experience the story, and the mechanics kind of get in the way of that sometimes. This should be for them. Ideally, this is not a tool where someone is like being told by their raid leader to stop trying to DPS manually.
The way you say this, no. The way you say that, when you say, oh, this is not for those people that want to do DPS during a raid. These are not for those people that want to do DPS during a raid. Well, then what? Then why add a feature if it has really, if you're basically then coming out and saying that it has really no actual feature? You're basically saying this thing that you put in the game really doesn't serve a purpose, is what you're trying to tell us. Why put this in the game? Oh my god.
This is not a tool where someone is like being told by their raid leader to stop trying to DPS manually and just turn on the one button mode to meet some DPS check. That we want to give you the tool.
Well, of course they would be.
Of course they are.
No, of course. Ian's wrong. So if
they're gonna click the
because
button
okay, so this is what would happen, right?
DPS. Oh, I'm doing tons of DPS damage because I clicked one button.
Is that?
Nah, because their rhetoric is dumb. Why say the opposite? Why say they're not gonna do that?
So the red
when they
line
are?
is the artificial one-button DPS.
Yes, the artificial one-button DPS, it basically says, oh, I can gain 24,000 DPS by clicking one button. Whereas you can decide for yourself in the order in which you want to do things. Because you could be like, I put my Veil up first, then I go into the battle. Then I hit them with Arcane Bolts. Then I do, I don't know, Ice ability to slow them down so they can't move as much. Then I hit them with, I don't know, Holy damage. You see what I'm saying? Depending on what enemy they are. Like, this one button thing just decides for you what's the best options to, like, hit them with. And I'm like, it's them. It's them who make the game
manual.
saying, oh, these are the moves in order and how you should play the game.
If you are inside of this area here, you will be told by your raid leader, just turn on the one button mode, stop trying to play the game yourself. And if you're not in this mode and you're over here, you're going to be told to do it yourself. How does he do the, how the fuck? Like, these are the
That's what I'm
best
saying.
players
Like,
that have played the game for 20 years.
Nah, because the one button compensation, that's what that is. It's a one button compensation for your lack of input, for your lack of effort, bro. Is this how we're making people lazier? We're making them more lazier. That actually makes me kind of more mad. Because you're not even trying at the, like, basical level. You're sitting there with your drink like it's Stick of Truth, where your fat guy playing WoW with his drink in his hand, like going apeshit, even though he's fat as fuck, wearing glasses and has a mullet, and then it's like, yeah, I can't kill him. And they tried to kill him in WoW and couldn't do it. They couldn't do it on South Park. They couldn't do it. They couldn't do it. It took so long to kill him. It took like a whole squad of them to like kill one guy, and they couldn't do it. They couldn't do it. He would run away and do dumb shit, and they couldn't kill him. They couldn't kill him. And I'm like, this is what makes people lazy. It's like you don't even put effort into thinking like how you're going to be able to beat someone in a video game or like a boss, because we're creating more people aren't thinking of ways and new solutions to combat the shit through natural terms, meaning through like natural progression of learning the shit, learning how the abilities work, and then using that to integrate into your character class or your character personality traits and all that, right? Your character itself. Like you integrate all the abilities into your character class so that you can do the maximum DPS yourself. Why do you need a button that assists for you and can magically tell you, like almost AI, what buttons to press for you? That's not good. That's not good. That's still in the rhetoric of, if you can't think for yourself, we're going to think for you. And I go, that's kind of not good. Because thinking for yourself allows you to fall on your nose and then recorrect your mistake once you see that that was a mistake. If your raid leader tells you that was wrong, you shouldn't have done that, then you learn from it and don't do that again. Which is why I don't understand why some people ignore that shit and do it again. I don't understand why you do that.
The fuck you guys not see this obvious graph?
It is. It's an obvious graph. Like, some people are going to use it.
What
and
the
then other
hell
people are
is
gonna tell
going
them
on?
To not use it, turn it off. Like,
This is crazy.
because you don't know what you're doing, so turn it on. And then some people are going to be like, you should know what you're doing, turn it off.
Manually and just turn on the someone that
a
sometimes
divide.
this should
is
be
why I'm like,
for
why
them.
would you make a
Ideally, this is not a tool where someone is like being told by their raid leader to stop trying to DPS manually and just turn on the one button mode to meet
It
some
absolutely will be.
DPS check. That we want to give you the tools to kind
I
of
remember I even did this with my mom. Because she was like, I don't know how to DPS. I say, okay. Hit Starfire. After you're done hitting Starfire, hit it again. Just do that. And yes, the best Moonkin rotation was more complex than that. But her interpretation of that rotation was worse than her just spamming Starfire. So I
Yeah.
just had her spam Starfire. And everything was fine. Yeah, bro.
Yeah, you just had her spamming Starfire. Whatever they're doing here is, he's saying it's worse. It's like worse than you hitting an ability 2 times. It's like when you're playing the warrior. Hit rend like 5 times, bro. Just do it. It'll give you extra damage on top of your regular. It's just rend and bleed, bro. Like, come on. You literally rend, and then after you rend, you literally hit the bleed. You literally hit bleed first, and you rend a couple times. Like, what? Like, what? Telling her to just press Starfire 2 times is, like, better than doing, like, 6 different abilities, like, 1 time.
I invented this in 2009.
go through that
Why?
organic progression naturally.
Great. But the so
What I don't understand is, why can you not see that as a, what do you call it? As a penalty. Oh, you say it's not a penalty. Yeah, it is. Because some people, the raid leader will say you're dumb and tell you to use it, and then other people will say you should know what you're doing and don't use it. That's what I don't understand. It's a divide. You're dividing players into these sections for what? To mitigate what? What are you trying to mitigate? Are you even trying to mitigate? Are you trying to put them in subcategories? Because that's not good. Because once you put these in circle groups, where it's basically like a diagram where you have a circle, you know, you have a 5-foot circle on the left and a 5-foot circle on the right. So you have on the left people that don't want to use it, and then you have people that do. And then imagine the two circles collide together, and in the middle you have a middle one that says, oh, we can't decide whether or not to use or not use it. We're just not going to use it entirely. Like, what if the middle is just, we're not going to use this thing entirely? That would be the right side, and the left side would just be people using it entirely. No matter if you switch it around, no matter if you switch it and put it on the left to the right or right to the left, and keep the middle as, I don't even know what this is crazy. Like, putting it in the middle and saying, I don't know what this is, that's pretty much, because new people don't even know this exists, see this, and then go, we don't care. That's what the middle is like. The middle is like, we don't care. I'm gonna come out and say it straight up. It's like having an AI assistant, bro. It's like having an AI assistant. Who wants that? Who wants an AI assistant that can think for you and tell you what it thinks, what your next move should be? Like, who cares? Who actually cares? I do, because you're actually taking away anonymity. You're actually taking away anonymity and mystery by having it choose for you what you want. You know what I mean? You figuring it out for yourself. If you're like a new player playing, let's say, a mage. Like, you should have fireball and like ice spills and like fire bolts and stuff like that to use. And you're figuring that out, right? As an example, you're figuring that out. And then you're like, and then it's like you figure it out through this natural cause. Through this natural cause of you playing the game and you leveling up and then going to the areas to get your skills, you progress naturally. If the game is like AI, where it then tells you what moves to buy, basically, it's telling you what moves to buy because it shows them to you, and then it's like, well, why do I need this AI rotation? It's not even a complexity that needs to be responded to at all, bro. Like, there's people that basically don't even care. They're like, this is so minor, it doesn't affect me. Well, how do you know? How do you know? It's like, Asmongold is saying, oh, 0.1% of the top players. 0.00001% of the top players that play this game like it's their job wouldn't really care about an add-on. Why would they care about an add-on? They'd be like, because that's like you going nuts. That's like you going nuts for Glorp Shido in Star Wars movie. You go Glorp Shido in Star Wars movie? Wow. Great. I'm excited for a character I don't recognize. That's how Star Wars fans are. They're like happy for anything. And it almost seems like those Star Wars fans are like the same people here in WoW, where it's like the 0.1% of people at the top are like, yeah, I'm winning, I'm making the money, yay! And then thinking that like life is sweet when you're spending so much money in a game when you could basically almost make WoW, like you could almost make WoW like free. Like, you could make it so that every area and path has like a way to where once you're max level in the trial, I guess you then have to buy the game, which is like
with further needless, unnecessary complexity and weird systems that simply remove gameplay from the game.
Yeah, removing
it's insane. How the fuck did this happen?
Okay, yeah, because there's two parts
is
of it, right?
crazy.
Like the advanced is, I want to really go into this, is the one button thing, but that's not necessarily
so dumb, bro.
everyone that's going to use this. Like, I think this game, especially new
Yeah.
players getting into it, it can be, there's a lot going on within a particular class, and you can be a little lost trying to figure out exactly what I should be pressing. So even just using it as
I mean, they're
Then
coming out
shouldn't
and
you
saying
address
something
that
like, oh, you could be
problem
lost
rather
in the
than
game.
introduce a solution to remove it? I think that's a design problem. If a person can't like easily understand how to play their character in a video game, maybe that's a problem with the way the game is designed.
No, if you're having a problem with trying to understand how your character is played, it's the way the game is
duh.
designed. That's why it makes it
like
so hard.
as a guide to start learning your class and move off of it eventually, but just having a base understanding of what actually should I be doing at a base level.
If I play retail WoW again, I'm 100% just using this button. I'm putting it on spacebar too.
Of this.
That's really exactly the motivation on our end. I mean, especially with warbands and War Within, we see lots and lots more alts, and leveling is pretty quick. You got a bunch of Warbound until equipped gear that you're passing over to a new character, and just jumping into their full rotation when you've never played the spec seriously before can be a pretty serious undertaking. And for some people, this may be enough for them, and that's fine too. But we recognize that there's so much. WoW has such a high skill ceiling that just recommend.
Why?
Why?
For
Why does
who?
it have a high skill ceiling? Why are you saying it has a high skill
For
ceiling?
these people that you constantly talk to that are
That's why my
these
mom stopped
people
playing
that
the game,
these
'cause
people
you kept
play
increasing
your
the
game
ceiling.
as a job.
It's like, stop increasing the ceiling.
And you're constantly listening to them on how to maintain that complexity. This is so distorted, it's unreal.
Real. It's so delusional, it's unreal.
What the next ability isn't.
It's so unempathetic to the lower class of people. It's like this game is now turned into politics without the politics. It's like think of this situation as politics, but remove like all of the who did it at the center and at the whatever. It's really like, break it down. It's not really politics. Break it down into actions. It's actually actions, bro. It's like, whoa, they did this thing that's like kind of not helping the lower class, but it's trying to manage the upper class to keep the upper class at the level they're at. And they basically forget about the lower class entirely, which is sad. Because they don't do anything to add-ons or anything to make it so that the game is better.
Going to really
For the lower
remove that or
class.
fully solve that. There's still the muscle memory that you need to form, and then all of the nuances of, like, we might have a recommendation for a rotation that makes sense if you're fighting a target demi, you're fighting patchwork, but when you need to plan around the fact that you're going to have to move in 4 seconds, that's a whole different layer of skill that still rests with players.
Yeah, I know when I'm trying to play a new spec for the first time or haven't played it in years, it often feels like I've got like a 30-minute checklist of, okay, I got to set up my keybinds, got to make sure, oh, this ability's changed since 2 expansions ago.
They're so close. They're so close. They almost understand. You're so fucking close to solving the problem.
I got to rebind that, and then I got to go and read some guides and figure out how all my new rotation works, and here's how the new set bonus works. So I could see it being really nice to just have a...
So it would be really nice to just have a button that just does everything for you. Why not make it easier so you don't need the button? Like, what the fuck is it? This is...
It makes no sense. It does. It's like you watch these two people talk about the game. It's like, what is their life like? It's like, based on how they talk about this game, you can figure out what their life is like, bro. It's like weird. It's like, I don't want to be around these people. It's their game. They building it, and they're one of the people helping to build the game. It's like, why? You're in Pop-Tart Corn Dog, and I'm like, that doesn't...
This is a way to jump into some content to do with your friends and have it work out nice and easily.
Is that right?
One thing that jumps out to me is that a lot of the content I'd want to do would be like delves or keys. And in either of those cases, there's a lot of AoE.
Yeah.
Is this going to have a, are we going to detect whether we're fighting 3 targets, 5 targets, and is it going to cast my Arcane Explosion instead of my Arcane Blast, or
it should be
is
able
it just
to.
always going to be a single target?
It's not just single target. There is, some sense of, how many enemies are within your range, in front of you, etc. And so that will affect the recommendations. Again, the goal is not optimal. The goal is not like this is going to, okay, everyone's always going to get perfect parses and so forth going forward. But as a baseline, this should be, it should be useful the same way that many, many people find Hakila useful today. And really, like, a lot of this building on the foundations of the cooldown manager.
This game is so cooked, it's actually insane.
It is cooked, bro. Why do we need a?
I'm looking.
Why do we need a cooldown
You know
manager? You're looking at a cooldown manager. You're looking at cooldowns. You're looking at all the abilities.
Real ones
for
remember
fetch.
this.
I go, why do we need to look at that? Well, why do we need that? Manage our cooldowns? Why?
It's the same one. It's the same one.
He gonna put salt on the top of his head and do it, bro. He gonna do it. He gonna do it again for like a second time,
that
bro.
just came out in 11.1.5 kind of reflects us hearing people in the community telling us that they feel like they need to seek out these third-party resources just to play the game at like
No. Nah, this is so. That's why I said it's so delusional. Like,
You know what this
they
is
don't
like?
even-
This is like watching an advertisement for one of those scam phone games where it's like a guy with a machine gun is moving back and forth and one of them says add 100 and it says subtract 1 and then he goes into the one that says subtract 1 and he dies.
Hey, how much is this? Oh, that's $9. Cool. Here's a 10. All right, and here's $1 back. And then how much for this? That'll be $2. Here you go. This is only $1. Yeah, but what's 9 plus 2? 11. And how much money is in your hand right now? $11.
It's like it's so easy. It's so everybody can see what you're supposed to do.
a baseline effective level in competitive content. And us asking, like, is that where we want the game to be in the long term, and what can we do to build in native solutions to many of these problems?
Like the base construct of it, there is a, this will help you learn what you're supposed to do if you are new. And then there is a, hey, I don't want to be the best player at this game. That's totally fine. I play it for a different reason. I want to collect things. I want to, like, understand the story. I want to quest. I want to level, right? And I don't want to feel like I can go into any content and I just don't really know what I'm doing. I feel anxious about that. Like, you have the ability to just be like, okay, well, at least Blizzard's got me. You know, I can have something at a base level where I can press one button and just kind of hang out and play the game. I have one question.
You're not even playing the game. It's playing for you. Playing the game, why would you say play? You're not even playing the game. It's playing for you. You just sit there and don't click any other buttons. It's just playing the game for you. After it's done with the first ability, it goes to the next ability and casts it automatically.
About the actual
you.
rotational thing. So is that going to like change with talents? So like, let's say,
Play
is it going to
the
work
game.
off the
Of
base
course it
talent
will.
build, or let's say you select a
course
talent
it
that
will.
now
Not even
moves
playing
a
the game, really.
AOE button into your single target rotation? Is that going to, is it going to be smart enough or planned to be smart enough to incorporate a bunch of different potential talent builds?
The goal is that it's aware of your talents, and the logic is conditional based on what you do or don't have talented.
How is it that you guys don't get this? This is
Yeah, it doesn't right now.
Honestly,
We hope it does in the future.
when
And I'm
will
like,
WoW
that doesn't
players
make any
stop
sense to
eating
even
shit?
me. Oh, it doesn't right now, but
Listen,
in the future
if
it will.
Blizzard
And I'm like,
needs, all right,
that's like saying what if. That's like
I
saying
will
what
take
if,
a
it'll
month
never
off
happen.
of my stream and I'll fix the game. Okay? I have to be able to stream a period of time, but I'll fix the game. And you're not going to like what I do, but I'm going to fix it. Just give me autoplay. The thing is that here is the paradox of autoplay. If a game requires autoplay, why do you have gameplay that's so meaningless that people don't even want to do it? That's the same problem here. And ironically, a Korean MMO figured this the fuck out with Throne and Liberty. It's like Amos
he's
says,
right.
yes, pay to autoplay. Well, yeah, I mean, I listen, I have an E6 S5 fucking Acheron in Star Rail, okay? Like, I couldn't afford my car because I bought that character. So I understand it. But at the same time, this is a garbage, Chinese, gotcha, trash, pay-to-win piece of shit game. I expect more out of World of Warcraft.
You do. You really do. Because it's a, like, higher.
As with,
it's
this
higher
is going to be
rated
something
than
And
a
the Star
phone.
Rail, here's the best part. Who here thinks the Star Rail autoplay is going to be better than this? Everybody knows it.
continues to evolve. We may not have every single possible permutation accounted for in the version that we roll out with.
Yes.
But it should still be very useful in that form to everyone, and we'll just get refined from there.
Right.
Similar to the cooldown manager that we know is like, that is a first take at this. We have plans to add much more customization, much more functionality to that over time as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's a really exciting
Why
feature
add more
individually.
shit, bro? Why
The
add
thing that's
more
most
shit
exciting
if
to
you
me
can
is in the
already
broader
buy an
context
extension
of the cooldown
download
manager, of all
for
these other
add-ons.
edit mode changes that have come out.
They're Curse Forge add-ons. Bro, y'all made your own WoW keyboard. Why? Oh, because I can't remember the buttons on my normal keyboard. I need the WoW special keyboard that has the buttons already mapped out for me, and I could just click one button and, like...
I'm just going to say it.
What?
I think people like this are ruining the game.
Yeah.
I think that these hyper elitist, super uber 1% players are in the ears of Blizzard, constantly pushing for them to make the game more complex, design the game around Mythic, and this is not the way a game should be made. You shouldn't be making a video game, listening and consulting with people like this. And the problem, why is the solution to this not removing these complexities in the first place? It's because people like this keep begging them not to, because their entire fucking career is based off of it. That's it. The reason why this problem exists is because of the premise
Of a
that you
subsection, a
need
grouping of people.
all of these people
Yes.
to somehow, for some reason, go and be professional WoW players. This is what it's all about. It's indirect sabotage. It is. The game is designed around these hyper serious, super professional players, and everybody else has to play a worse version of the game because of it. That's the truth. It's just not. Stop trying to make it a hyper complex, omega competitive game and just simply make the game fun to play, easy to understand, and intuitive to learn. These sweats kill every fucking game.
I agree.
And Blizzard has let
I
these
agree.
people infest
They need to
and ruin
do
the
something
game
about that.
ever since Cataclysm.